World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
What's going on, people? What is going on? This is Matt McCoy. I am back. Some of you have reached out to me and said, Matt, we haven't seen you on Tuesdays in a while. And that's right. I haven't been here on Tuesdays in a while. I've been busy. But I'm back. Excuse me for the lighting. I'm back. I'm not back in full bloom, but it's going to be something a little different. So I'm in the shadows today. And but we got a show today that's different. It's special. It's called Interviews with Legends. And what I decided to do was take people in the community who are mainstays in the community, and they're doing great work in the community. They've done great work in the community. They're artistic, they're business people, they're whatever they're doing in their careers. But the major part of their greatness and what makes them a legend is what they've done in the community and the work and the help they've given to people, the inspiration they've given to people. So, that's what we're talking about on today's show. And it's going to be a series of shows that we'll be doing here in the Soul City Network that I might host. I might host some of them. I might not. Who knows? We'll find out as we go along. But my first guest today is a brother who I've known for quite some time. Is a beautiful brother, wonderful brother who is an outstanding poet, musician, civil rights activist. I can go on and on. Health practitioner. I can go on and on with his accolades. I'm not going to take any time and do anything any further. Let's bring him on right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's my man Baba Ngoma. What's up, bro?
Hey, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good, man. Thank you for being the first guest on the new show.
Okay.
This show will be sporadic. It won't be on every Tuesday. I'm going to try and go back to the other show every Tuesday. But you were my inspiration for this when you reached out to me and told me that you had another show coming up, and we'll talk about that in a moment. I said, wow, and Ngoma's been around for a while, and he's been doing things in the Harlem community for a while. And, I've been to Harlem doing a lot of things. Jesus, I think I started really my claim to fame in Harlem, I think started in 1992. That's a long time ago, but you got me beat. I know that much. So I figured, man, let's bring you to the world. Let's talk about what's going on in the future with the new shows coming up. And but let's talk about who you are. Tell the audience who you are and why you do what you do.
Okay. I'm a spoken word artist. I hate to use that term because Jesse Jackson did spoken word, but I'm a performance poet, and I'm a multi-instrumentalist. And I say that I'm a paradigm shifter, whereas I give you some examples and let you check them out. I have been doing this work for over 50 years in one form or fashion. I'm a multi-instrumentalist. I play about 12 instruments. Actually, I play about 14 or 15, but I don't own all of them. And That's a quick thing, but I'm trying to figure out the best way to tell you
Man, you got a lot of stuff, man. I mean,
what
let
I've
me
been
just
doing.
jump in and
Uh,
pick a couple to start with. You play a lot of instruments.
yeah.
Which is, I think those of you who know you in the community, um, two instruments stand out where we know you. I think best for, and my favorite one because it's rare is you play the Yadaki. Am I saying it right? The
Yes, you
didgeridoo.
are. Indeed.
Right. So most people know it as the didgeridoo, but as you taught me, that's not really the proper name for it. It's the common name maybe, but it's not the proper name for it.
Right.
So you play that, and that's something you don't see often. And then you play the violin also.
Yes.
So you're a violinist. So let's take those two instruments first. How do you get into playing the didge, and how did that become part of your persona?
I went to a New Age fair in Connecticut,
Mm-hmm.
and some music was playing,
Mm-hmm.
and I heard this instrument, and so I went to the guy who was the DJ and said, let me see what that is." So he showed me what it was. He said, "Okay, just." I looked on the CD and said didgeridoo. So I said, "Okay, a didgeridoo." That's very interesting. I was in a relationship with a woman that was a card reader, and she used to read at a bookstore in New Haven. And when she was there, all of a sudden she saw that they had some for sale. So she calls me up and say, "They got these didgeridoos." And I'm like, "Wow." So I went and bought them. And that's kind of how it started.
Okay.
It took a while for me to be able to play it. I got a videotape and kind of learned how to play it. And then I found somebody that could actually play it. And he came by my house and gave me a lesson. And then I just, started playing it. It's not a difficult instrument to play. It's a science to it. But
Yeah.
it seems like it seems like it's difficult, but really it's not.
It's really,
Because
well, you know what?
there's no fingering or anything. So
Right. So you're just blowing into it, basically. But I know when you're blowing into it, you're able to create different tones.
yeah.
And notes or tones from blowing into it. But I think what is the most fascinating thing to me is that you've mastered the art of circular breathing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people,
Took me a year and a
yeah,
half.
yeah, most of our musician friends would understand that. I have the only other person I can call up real quick in my brain that also uses that same technique is Mike Phillips, the saxophone player.
Okay.
Mike is the only one that I know outside of yourself who mastered circular breathing. I know there's somebody else. I can't remember, another saxophonist. I can't remember who it is, but talk to us about that technique and your breath control. It has to be because I would just pass out and die after 30 seconds. So tell us about that technique of circular breathing.
The technique of circular breathing entails you using your cheeks as bellows. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
In the time period that it takes you to push the air out, you can breathe in. So you're breathing in and you're blowing out, and you can continuously do that. The only thing, you have to play the instrument long enough for your cheeks to be strong enough to push the air out, or to have control of how fast it goes out.
I know, because I'm doing it right now. I feel like I'm about to pass out and stuff. I can't breathe. What's going on? That's interesting.
When I first got it, I would come home and sit in a corner, because if you play it right into a corner, the sound projects back at you.
Mm-hmm.
And I would sit at home and I would play it, and I would lose track of time. I would get home like about 6:30 or 7 o'clock, and I would start playing, and I look up, it'd be 11 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
The Aborigines say that it takes them into a trance called a dream time,
Mm.
and that they dreamt the universe and everything that's in it through its use.
Well, okay, so that encompasses, because it's circular and it's I know my man Mike Phillips, and I've seen him do it at gigs and clubs. He'll walk around the whole room for 15 minutes playing that same damn note.
Yeah, I can.
And
I did
how
something.
long do you actually do it?
I did something for you one time, and I played it. And I walked all the way around Symphony
Yes.
Space. You remember?
Yes, exactly. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. And so how long can you play it for? How long? What's your longest time of actually playing it like that?
I don't know, maybe a half an hour.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
But then I continue to play. I mean, a half an hour without breaking at all.
Right. So I mean, so I would, and them calling it dreams time and or dream time, and that circular breathing. To me, the didgeridoo has always been a spiritual instrument to me. Every time I hear it, it invokes something within my spirit. You know what I'm saying? That is a healing, sound or healing feeling. And I can imagine it taking you into universal state of mind, which is why they called it, dream time and a universal instrument. I'm making this up right now. I'm trying to sound, like I know stuff, but it sounds like to me that's what it means.
It's a healing instrument because its sound opens your chakras.
There you go. That's what else.
So you can play it. The Aboriginal people, they use it for healing, and they play it. They have a person lay down and they play it over their chakra points, and it opens your chakras. Yeah, okay. It's quite healing.
Okay, that part of it, I did not know. Do you by any chance have that instrument like right next to you by any chance?
Do I have it next to me?
I got one. I
got it where I can get it right quick. Hold on a second.
This is a ladies and gentlemen. This was not planned. We didn't plan this.
Okay.
But get into. I love this instrument.
This is not the one that you usually see me play, but I got about 6 or 7 of them. So this is
wow.
So I could do that for a while.
It's funny. Barbara Barrett just said that it's the instrument you blew when we were visiting. That's out of my sister.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that sound though, man. And since you mentioned it, blowing it over the different chakra points in your body, man, I got to try that. That seems like that would be a really cool healing situation. Are you doing that with people right now, or have you done that before?
I have done it at various healing centers, and for various the New Age fair that we were doing in Connecticut. I would do a workshop, and a sound healing workshop, and I would do that, and I'll play it over people and whatnot, and I would loop it also so it would continue to play, and then I would do Reiki.
Okay, yeah. Cool. So, all right. So then, we talked about the dig, and you also play the violin. We want to ask you to get the violin. I think everybody knows what a violin is. And you play guitar also, correct?
Yeah, I play 6-string guitar, 12-string guitar, and 3-string guitar.
Okay, you got me beat with the 3-string. I don't know how to play a 3-string guitar.
The 3-string cigar box guitar.
Wow.
Popular around 1835.
Wow.
Because when Africans came here, they couldn't bring instruments on the ship. You dig? They started making instruments out of whatever they could. So they made these cigar box guitars. They have resurfaced with pickups. Okay. So I got a 3-string. It's nice too. I had it refitted. It's got like Fender amps and
oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean a Fender pickup.
Okay.
And the sound is.
So is the action on the neck the same as a regular guitar, or is it a little different?
Yeah, it's a little different. It's closer to the action on a cello.
Okay. Interesting. That's really interesting. Now, what made you get into all these instruments that you played?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I don't know. As I became more interested in music and started listening to more and more music, then I just started picking up other instruments. I started playing violin when I was 7.
Okay.
Started taking violin lessons when I was 7.
Mm-hmm.
By the time in the public school system, they don't start teaching music till the 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So by the 6th grade, I could already play. So they gave me this flute. So I started learning how to play the flute,
Mm-hmm.
but the flute, one of the keys was broken.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, okay, well, you can't play this because the key is broken. We're going to have another one. So then I started learning how to play cello.
Mm.
Okay, and I was in the, I actually played cello. When I was in junior high school, I actually played cello in all city band for high school students.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The high school I went to didn't have an orchestra. They only had a band.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned how to play baritone horn.
Mm-hmm.
Then about my senior year in high school, this is like during the civil rights, so I was influenced by like Odetta
Mm-hmm.
in particular and Richie Havens in particular. So I started playing acoustic guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I was a music major, instrumental music major at Virginia State.
Right.
It was college then, but it's university now. And I was a violin major. I had to take another string course, and I ended up learning how to play upright bass, which I played in the 18-piece dance band. So I was playing, and then it just went on. I continued to learn to play stuff, My wife gave me a 12-string guitar a few years back.
Okay. Okay.
I have electric bass. I play that.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So we went through the
I just bought a
instruments.
melodica.
Okay, so we went through instruments, but now the other thing that you're very, very well known for around the country, because you travel doing this often, is you're a poet.
Exactly.
And how'd you get into poetry? And why'd you get into poetry?
Why and how?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Vietnam vet. I was an infantryman. I wasn't a clerk. While I was in Vietnam, I promised the Most High that I would take whatever talents I had to use them to try to uplift my people.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came back home, I tried to figure out how to do that. And while I was in Vietnam, my friends would send me books. So I would read the books and send them home, and they'd send me more books. And I started becoming familiar with a lot of people's work, including poets, Amiri Baraka, Sonia Sanchez, Askia Muhammad Touré.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I got this poetry thing. So when I got back, the last poets was jumping off. And I was like, yo, I could do this.
Okay.
So I started writing and going around, performing.
Mm-hmm.
I did it because I do it because I can do it, and because I think I do it relatively well, and because it serves my purpose. And my purpose is to raise social and political consciousness
Mm-hmm.
and spiritual consciousness. I feel that that's my purpose in life. So somebody say, well, you still doing that? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I do.
And you do it well. In your writing, yeah, because I know most of your writing is, politically conscious, socially conscious. What is your favorite piece that you believe that is it that one piece that you believe is your favorite piece?
I don't have one.
Okay, and that's cool because I know a lot of times, a lot of artists will say that, and I know that the audience usually has their favorite piece. What's the one that the audience will ask for most?
Probably the I Am poem.
Yes, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's.
I wrote that back in I wrote that back in 1995.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? Actually, no, he said 95. Okay, that was yeah. Because I think the first time I heard it was 98, 2000, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere during that time period. And I was like, wow, that is really, dope. It just use that word. It was really dope. It was interesting. It was dynamic. It said a lot of things spiritually, and culturally. Um, I would dare to ask you to do it now if you want to give people a sample of it. No pressure, but
I didn't write that piece. It wrote me.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. There you go. There you go. All right. But you know what though, man? That's it's in life.
I think I channeled that piece.
No, I hear you. The great stuff that will come to us in life at times finds us. We don't find it; it finds us, and it makes its home within our psyche or our bodies or whatever it is and stuff. Good or bad. I think a lot of people, will attract a lot of bad things finding them. But when you're doing some stuff, because your work that you've done in the community, I think that poem really embodies the work that you've done in the community. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the stuff you've done in the community and the outreach that you've given to people spiritually, health wise, even just through your poetry. Let's talk about that for a moment.
I've been doing this work for a real long time.
Mm-hmm.
I was Minister of Culture for the Black United Front in New York when it started. Must have been around 79. Even before then, part of my cultural work was I was a part of the Spirit House Movers and Players, which was a theater group run by Amiri Baraka, which was a part of the Congress of African People and the Committee for a Unified Newark. My ex-wife and I were a part of a duo called Serious Business. And we performed all over New York. We performed all over the country. We performed in Europe about 6 times. We did 3 albums on the Folkways label, which are now in the Smithsonian, because Folkways was owned by Moses Ashe, and when he passed, he willed his whole collection to the Smithsonian. Then, when you met me, Matt.
Oh, here we go. Everything went downhill again.
Excuse me. When you met me, that was my reincarnation.
Okay.
Okay. Although I have a great love for jazz, I realized that you can interpret it any kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's no lyric, although you can get the feeling and the meaning, but it's difficult to actually deliver a particular message if you got some stuff that you really want to say.
Right.
So based upon that, I started doing more poetry. And I started writing. I was kind of late writing. Everybody, you see kids now, they're 16, 17, and they're writing. I didn't think I had nothing to say then. It took me a while to be able to think that I had something worth saying to people.
Mm-hmm.
And once I realized I did, then, okay, we're on the road. The poem that you're talking about, I wrote it as a joke.
Okay. Wow.
And Saul Williams was doing a similar kind of work, and he was very popular. So I thought, I was saying, Saul's writing this crap, blah blah blah. What's he talking about? Anyway, I told him this too, so we were friends. So I wrote this poem. It was a takeoff on him. It was like, but people liked it so much, and I just continued to do it. It's like, I'm the original man. I was a runaway slave. I was here before time. Time ain't real, no hell, just something capitalists make it up to control y'all. I can't be controlled. I'm that bald head brother your mama said to watch out for. Brothers was multicultural then. I was here before race. Race was just something conquerors used to divide us. I was here before Adam. Adam was gay and didn't even like apples. Eve was a homegirl. I was the dude next door. We used to throw barbecues in the Garden of Eden. Brothers had to bring a bottle of wine, a 6-pack, or blunt to get in. Sisters could get in for free. The Ascended Masters was my posse. Me and Cleopatra used to do the wild thing underneath the steps of the pyramids. Me and this poet named Saul used to sunbathe on the banks of the Nile. Me, Ra, Ptah, Osiris, and my aunt had this bad band. We used to jam down by the Sphinx on Saturday nights. On Fridays, we'd party in Kush. On long weekends, we'd hang out with Krishna. We cruised along the banks of the Ganges on our elephants. Me and Buddha was buddies. We go to Ile Ife on vacation, hang out with Orishas, Yamayo, Batala, Ogun, and them. The Bible was the first National Enquirer. King James was the editor. I met that brother Jesus. He was a real black man, a young dude, dropped out of school early. Could do a mean miracle, though, changing water to wine and whatnot. Did a mean fish fry, too. I was there when he was killed. It was a Judeo-Roman conspiracy. He was a political prisoner. We had a free Jesus rally. Still got my button, too. Didn't work, though. They killed him anyway. Should have had Johnny Cochran for a lawyer. Me and Luke made sandals the latest rage. I gave Gabriel trumpet lessons. He could play a mean blues. I promised Mary I'd keep our secret. You know, she wasn't no virgin. Something she made up so she could get a welfare check since Joseph was an absentee father. I thought y'all figured that out, man. Now, must I tell y'all everything? Look, Jesus told me I could be God just before he died. I didn't want the responsibility, though. I know all them crazy zealots would be killing peacemakers and saying he told them to do it. I didn't want all that blood and stuff on my conscience. I used to slang rocks. No, not cocaine. Crystals, amethyst, taxized, turquoise, onyx, and blue lapis. I was a prophet before it was profitable. Thought about getting a psychic hotline, but I couldn't get an 800 number. I was here before language, before you had to worry about people lying. Everything was the truth then. I was here before negativity. Life was simple then. I was here before fear. I was here before want and need and greed and war and shame and blame. I was here before darkness. I am the light. I've come to show you the way. Follow me. I'm truth. I'm eternal peace. All we need is love. All we need is love. All we need is love. I am, and I.
I'm waiting for that last line. Was there another line to it?
I used to say Shah Rastafari.
Right. Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't roll that way no more. So.
Okay. All right. Cool. I mean, so, but again, that means nothing is ever written in stone.
Yeah.
You can, you know what I'm saying, you might augment a poem, change it up, you know what I'm saying, add a line, take away a line. But that's what the freedom of creativity is about.
True.
And that's what I think is so dope with artists, particularly poets, because, I've heard a lot of poets do poems and it's a different line in it at some point, you know, some of them make it up on the spot, you know what I'm saying, depending on where they're at, you know. Yeah.
Sometimes you have to make it fit the occasion, you know.
Yes.
Toy with
it. I mean, I just see Kasem Alive do that a lot, and Brother Earl, and some of the rest of them, Ayaba, some of the rest of them do some things like that. I was like, wow, they just changed this all up, So the poetry thing, and I think that's where a lot of people in the community I don't know you because I mean you used to do a thing down at the don't tell me 138th and Avenue, my man spot. It'll come to me. All right, help me out here with Sugar Shack. Right?
Sugar Shack.
And I remember it was funny, man, because you had a band with you, and that to me was one of the coolest spots. And you started the Sugar Shack like what, 96? It had to be something like that.
Yeah, it's around 96.
Because you started before I started Hottest Poets at National Black Theater. You guys were doing it, and that's when the poetry scene in New York was kind of hot for a while. You know, you had Brooklyn Moon, you had got a few spots up in Brooklyn. But for me, Harlem Harlem had the best spots. Do my thing at the National Black Theater, and I was doing the poetry slams, and you was doing the open mic poetry thing with the band at the Sugar Shack. I thought it was so cool. And I never forget, man. It was a true story. A lot of people don't know this, but we got an offer when we left the National Black Theater. We got an offer to move over to Jimmy's Uptown
Right.
club, bigger, venue. And we were doing very well with the slams and, gathering, large amounts of people. And, we had an offer to go to Jimmy's and do poetry on Wednesday nights. And they wanted us to be there on Wednesday nights. We had sponsors, we had, everything coming. And they wanted us to come on Wednesdays. And I was like, nah, I ain't doing Wednesdays because that's when Ngoma does his thing at the Sugar Shack. I got to be at the Sugar Shack. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it was always the camaraderie between people producing their shows. I never wanted to bump heads with anybody else. You know what I'm saying? I wanted whatever day they were on to be the sacred day in poetry. You know what I'm saying? Let that rock. You guys been rocking, you were before me. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, nah, that's how I wound up on Tuesday nights. A lot of people don't know that. That's how I wound up on Tuesday nights over there. It was the worst damn night of the week to try to do anything. But we actually made it grow and made it work. But it was really, because of the love and strength that we believed in what you were doing at the Sugar Shack, that we didn't want to interfere with that. You know what I'm saying? That's like that whole movement over there was cool. And the band was dope. You know what I'm saying? You had, was it a 3-piece band, I think it was?
Yeah, me, Shaka Tonge, Wiz Oz.
Oh, yeah, right. Wiz, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was cool, man. It was a small spot. But Sugar Shack for me was one of the sacred poetry spots that we had back in the days. And unfortunately, we don't see that anymore. Or I haven't seen it. And I stopped doing the, because me, when I left the National Black Theater, I wound up at Boca, it became a whole different show. And that wasn't even my choosing. They just asked me, can I produce something else? But I haven't seen the spoken word like back in that days, the late 90s, early 2000s that was here in New York. I'm not sure what's happening in other cities and what have, at least I know here in New York, that scene was incredible for that, let's say 5-year period of time, 96 to, 2001, 2002. Was really dynamic, but Sugar Shack was outstanding, man. And that's why I always wanted to have a live band when I do poetry. I just thought it was so cool to have the band improvise along with the poets, and that made the work even that more special to me. So let's talk about performing arts and good. You got something to say?
I said, yeah, we had a great time. Those were good days.
Yeah. I think if you had to pick a poet, and it's probably not even the right question to ask you, but I know others are probably thinking it. If you had to pick a poet other than yourself, who do you think stands out that's really somebody that you admire what they're doing poetry wise?
Talal Macy.
Okay.
Sonny Patterson. Out of New Orleans.
Yeah. You mentioned, Talon was definitely one of my favorites. What was his poem? Market for Niggas.
Yeah.
Market for Niggas and stuff. That was my poem and stuff, boy. To this day, that poem is still on point.
It's still on point.
Somebody just wrote in Ngoma, you are so important in developing the slam scene and encouraging people to perform their own poetry. I want your listeners to know that. Paula, you are absolutely correct. Ngoma came before I did. And, like I said, what they were doing at the Sugar Shack was outstanding. And I remember, poetry for me was always a healing art, not just for me, but with me and Yana created it and put a whole bunch of money into it. And it was about the audience being healed with the words of the poets. Especially in the beginning of Hottest Poets for the first 7 years that we were rocking it with the slams. I never forget it. Some stories that I'll share. We was at Jimmy's. There was a man who was getting ready to kill somebody that night. He came to the slam only to kill time. He liked poetry, but he came to the slam to kill time and hang out, have a couple dreams because he was going to kill somebody that night. And but he didn't do it. He changed his mind because he heard one of the poets perform, and one of the words of the poets changed him, touched his soul, hit his chakra in a certain way that he was like, that's some bullshit, man. I'm going home. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do what I was going to do. And he told me and Yana that story. We've heard a lot of stories like that. I think the poet who did that was Ainsley Burroughs. I think it was Ainsley Burroughs.
Okay.
That poem that saved a man's life or saved somebody else's life, you know. Because Ainsley was one of my favorite poets back then. You know, Ainsley, Talam, Lamar Hill, Lamar Hill. So it was where, what's the other brother? Tahut Nine.
Tahut, yeah.
Nine, another one of them stuff. So a lot of them started with us too back in the days. So yeah, man. So we got the poetry world, and you've been out there, and you're still doing shows. Let's talk about the shows coming up. You got some shows coming up. Let's talk about what you got happening. I know the first one is like Thursday, I believe it is. It's right here on the screen.
Yep.
9th, Sisters Uptown. Oh wait, you got a book too. There you go.
Well, the one on Thursday, that's what it is. Really, it's like the first book release or reading from it.
Okay.
So it's gonna be at Sisters Uptown Bookstore, at 1942 Amsterdam Avenue, about 7:00.
Okay.
And
it's up here on the screen.
Book release. I got a new book. The book is called "I Didn't Come Here to Tap Dance," and that's Thursday.
Okay.
And on Friday, I'm going to be in Harlem in El Barrio at La Maqueta, Barrio Poetics. It's 1590 Park Avenue. That's at 115th Street and Park Avenue. So then on December the 19th, I'm going to be at the Parkside Lounge. It's 317 East Houston Street down in the Village at 4 p.m. for Great Weather for Media. So that's it for like the rest of. And I'm doing something online for Menacing's Kwanzaa.
Oh, cool, very cool.
And I believe that's December the 29th, but I don't have any more information about that right this minute.
You know what we're going to do in Ngoma? There is, I'm going to let you know, a friend of mine, she's doing an open mic on Sundays. I believe it's Sundays, she told me. Every Sunday down in the Village. It's a jazz open mic, jazz band. I'm going to talk to her and see if I can invade her show with some poets.
Okay.
And, going down there and do some things. Francis says, congratulations, Ngoma. I got my copy and I started to indulge in your poems. There you go. You got one of the first copies. There you go. Oh, he or she, that's a male or female?
It's a female.
Female, so I figure. Okay. Francis normally with an I, I think.
With an I,
yeah. So I'm going to talk to her, man, and see if we can just get a bunch of poets together one day and go down there and hang out. And invade her spot. I'm gonna talk to her about it. So, look, I'm gonna invade your spot with some poets and stuff, and let's have some fun. Because I haven't been in that circle, man, in a while. I'm gonna talk to Yana, and I know she'll probably want to come also because she misses the poetry scene. She misses the poets. She missed what we used to do with the slams. She never really came to Mocha. It was a whole different scene. It wasn't, wasn't her cup of tea. I'm gonna work on that, man. So your work in the community, though. Let's talk about that quickly. Also, the stuff you've done in the community outside of poetry. Let's talk about that stuff that you've done. That is, I guess, is more political and more socially active stuff.
I've been a part of the movement to free political prisoners. That's one of the things that I've taken up, and a lot of my work deals with it. A lot of people don't realize it, but there are far over 69 political prisoners and prisoners of conscience in the United States. I'm not just talking about dudes that got locked up because they was, being trifling. I'm talking about people that have made conscious decisions to do things to what they call for our freedom. And some of them have been in jail for 40, 50 years. Like Mumia Abu Jamal, he's been in jail for like 40 years.
Wow, right.
Accused of killing the police, and obviously he didn't do it. Russell Maroon Schultz just got out of jail, and he's got cancer, 4th degree cancer, and they're not expecting him to be around much longer. He spent about 40 years in the pen also. But there are many political prisoners that are still there, and I try to talk about them some in my work. I tend to talk about a lot of different things, but I try to show how they're connected.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The connectedness of it. That's one of the things, one of the purposes of what I do. The other thing, I try to do work that's socially critical, but in order to create critical thoughts so people can think. I try to give people information that they may not have gotten before, or if they have gotten before, they're not thinking about it, and all of a sudden I put it in your face and say, yeah, this is what's going on. That's the purpose. So when I do work and people come up to me and say, yeah, you gave me a lot of information, you gave me something to think about, then I know that I served my purpose in doing it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think that's what makes you a legend to me. Why I'm calling this show Interviews with Legends, because it's not just the art, it's not just, whatever it is that you do, your career, whether you're a teacher or, doctor, whatever it is that the work you're doing in the community to help other people in other ways, sometimes using your craft or your skills to help it. But it's, I believe that, when we can share our spirit and our energy with others, we get it back tenfold, and if we can help somebody else, then we're good. I've always lived my life that way, and I know you have. So that's what makes you a legend in my eyes, and I hope in the eyes of other people who know you and who don't know you, but now have seen you, and they can see, why you're a legend in this world right now. You might not get a plaque, you might not get, saying your name in the Smithsonian or, anywhere, but, we want people to know that, hey, you are a legend in the eyes of the people who matter. You got a book on Amazon called I Didn't Come Here to Tap Dance.
Indeed.
What was that? You wrote that book some time ago, right?
No, it's very new.
Oh, that's the new book. Okay.
This is my first book.
Oh, okay.
I got about 6 CDs, but this is my first book.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
it's
so they can, ladies and gentlemen, you can go on Amazon. You can go on Amazon right now, and you can buy the book. There it is on Amazon. I Didn't Come Here to Tap Dance. That's the book. Get it and you got, how many CDs do you have?
5 or 6.
Okay. Yeah, 5 or 6. You got a CD that I have is actually, matter of fact, do you have a digital copy of your CDs also?
Yeah.
Because I got to get a digital copy of the Didgeridoo CD, the one you did with just all Didgeridoo meditation.
I don't have that.
Okay. I got the CD.
Okay.
I got the CD.
I think I got a copy of it.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna try and digitize it, because I just realized it. I used to meditate to it a lot. And I was using it a lot for that. And, I just realized I haven't meditated off of that in quite a while.
Okay.
So I need to go back to that. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely do that. But any other words you want to say to the people who are watching? Anything new? Anything you want to just leave?
Well, I want to thank everybody for watching it. And I hope some of you will come, especially to the book release party at Sisters Uptown. And I hope you come to all 3 of the different gigs, but in particular, the book release thing, and that'll also be online, so you can watch it too. So
very cool.
Yeah, and on Instagram.
Okay.
And
All right. So those are the dates. You got
live in Harlem. Come to La Marqueta,
Mm-hmm.
Cardio Poetics.
Yep, there you go. We got the other one coming up on the 19th, Houston Street. And Ngoma, let's talk, man. Let's I want to do a poetry spoken word reunion party or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Reach out to some of the poets. I'm in contact with, a lot of them, the Brother Earls and the Kasims and the Ayabas and the Fire Starters and, others like that. I know I can call at a moment's notice, they show up. So
thinking of Ayaba. Ayaba did the cover for the book.
Okay. Ayaba, as a matter of fact, he's gonna be my next guest. I'm gonna have him on soon too, man. That's another brother who's doing some fantastic things, not only artistic but spiritually, and other things. And I appreciate you guys for doing that kind of work within your work. So your work is never just a flat surface. There's a lot of depth to what you guys are doing. And I
got a whole chapter say I'm gonna do what the Spirit says do.
Okay, there you go. All right, cool. So I'm going to thank you unless you got something else you want to add to the pot. I know you probably do, but I
want to thank you all for having me on.
Thank you, brother.
Great experience. And is this available for people to watch it again?
It'll be on. It's going to stay up forever. And then they can, I'll put it on TV too. Then in a week or two, it'll be up on the Soul City Network nationally live. On the digital platforms, YouTube, Roku, Apple TV, or Amazon Fire, you name it. It'll be on all the digital platforms too. So give me about 2 weeks, it'll be up. So people can watch it. So we can spread the word and make sure we put that up again. Amazon. I didn't come here to tap dance. So just go to Amazon, ladies and gentlemen, and Facebook, and Ngoma's World on Facebook. And on Instagram is Baba Ngoma. You can check out Ngoma, link up with them, hire them for a gig, hire them to come and talk to your kids, hire them to come and talk to your elders, hire them to come and talk to you. Get your life straight, get your chakras lined up properly. Right. We gotta do it. Yeah, we gotta definitely do a whole show. I remember that this Simply Space thing. I remember we did something at in Connecticut. We had the band there. We did something in Connecticut at a theater in Connecticut. That was so long ago, man. That had to be 1998, 99, something like that.
I hosted a slam at Yale. The Dr. Martin Luther King Festival of Environmental and Social Justice.
Yes.
I've put it together and hosted it for like the last 25 years.
You know what? When is the next one? It's Martin Luther King's birthday, right?
Yeah.
Remind me of it.
It's going to be on the 17th. But what's going on now is because of the COVID thing, we're not doing a slam. We're having more of a poetry jam, and I have 4 poets that are going to perform as a part of a program, and myself, and that's going to be January the 17th. I think about 7:00.
Okay, let's talk about that before the week is out. I think I'm in Senegal at that point, a project I'm doing in Senegal, music-wise. But I would like to do something with you with that. If I'm here, let's see if we can broadcast that, and we'll just broadcast it live on TV and everything and stuff. I'll just do it, So let's talk about that. We'll get it together, and we'll surprise people. If not that day, we'll do something else similar to it, coming up. Just bring the band, man. It's kind of be like the Blues Brothers, the band, man, the band. Get the band back together, and say a band of poets and band of mismatched poets, and let's make it happen. And going, man, I appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you too,
first guest on Interviews with the Legends. Keep on doing your work. If I can make it out on time on the 9th, that ends at what time?
The 9th, we probably start at 7, probably be over by like 8 or 9, but probably about 9.
All right. If I can clear my schedule, have a meeting that day, if I can clear my schedule and get out quick enough, I'll be there. I
Okay.
haven't been to Sisters Uptown Bookstore in ages, so I need to get up there and visit.
Everybody need to get up to Sisters Uptown
Yeah.
Books.
Yeah, man, definitely. Without
People need
question.
to read.
So, ladies and gentlemen, man, you know, Ngoma, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching the first episode of Interviews with the Legends with Baba Ngoma, and we are out, and we'll see you guys the next show.
All right.
Blessings, everybody. All right, now.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.